Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. All right, so let's just continue off where we left off. So we got to do the eclipse. Um, is that how you pronounce it? No, not eclipse. Apparently, I'm having a very difficult time pronouncing this. Epilogue. All right, so where do we need to go for this? Looks like we need to go up to the upper castle. All right, what's that there? Oh, okay.
Ah,
Cutscene.
Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right.
What happened to his dented armor?
Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capen.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
Came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
Was it ever?
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young son, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What you're saying, Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother
Seemed to be
success.
two-faced.
But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von
The
Rosenberg.
situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments, and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft the letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Well, it sounds like our adventure's going to continue. Alright, go to the Apple Castle during the day to meet with Margrave.
Quite so, Margrave.
Oh, well, it looks like I gotta talk to my father.
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Someplace tell me this is not going to be as easy
Don't get
as it
embroiled
seems.
in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
This is Sir Capon we're talking
Very
about.
well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
What about the
I'm
relation?
getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years. And now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Indeed. Who is that? Jobs.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
Or Jops?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him. But he
Indeed.
really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
Yeah, I guess so. He knew Wenceslas?
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
Who is Prokop?
Who is this Prokop that Jobst spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
And the League of Lords?
The League of Lords and that Berghoff we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghoff, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslas surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Berghoff has to say.
I hardly know anything about Sigismund.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him. And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
Indeed. Rupert? Was it? Palatinate?
Rupert of the Palatinate.
Or
That's a name I
Palatinate?
hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince Elector?
The Prince Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other Prince Electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So,
Interesting.
now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
Indeed. That's the Lord you gotta be careful with.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
Well, that's about everything. That was
That's
a lot
about
of
Very well.
a lot to
Take
take
the
in.
letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son.
Alright, so that objective's done. That was
Think of it all so delicious.
a lot of talking.
Think
Alright, so now let's pick up the letter on Margaret.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy.
Looks
All
like
you
he
have
could
to
use
do
a
is
bath.
Deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Congratulations, you completed the main storyline. If you like, you can still embark on side quests and activities or just wander around the world. You can end the game anytime afterwards by running off the map with Sir Hans Captain Squad. Okay. I guess it's Well now. I would like to do the DLC quests at least, so yeah, we should do that. Let's see here. Let's look at our quest log here. Wow, that was a quite a ways. Find and avenge your parents. Didn't we already complete that? Okay. So that's Teresa, Miracle, Pestilence, Restless Spirit, Band of Bastards. Prove what you got. We definitely want to do that. Treasure, talk to Lost in the Woods. Find Sir Divish Locator. Yeah, we want to do that one too. Okay. Now, I'm surprised things haven't really cleared up there yet. But, yeah. So let's get our horse in. Yeah, we don't want to complete this quite yet. Alright. Okay, we got a quest giver there. We have a DLC quest here. And there's a band of bastards. Should we try for that again? You know what? Why not? Let's try this out. Let's head to the band of bastards. And then we'll give that one a shot. Alright, I'll see you at their camp.
Yeah.
Alright, we arrived at camp and I guess let's retry this challenge. Dr. Dangler, I challenge you.
I want to challenge you again.
If you like. Reckon you've improved?
I reckon I have.
We'll see then. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll have got worse. Let's do it then.
Alright, let's give this another shot. Wow, that turned out to be a lot easier.
Badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us. All right, good. Thanks.
Well, that turned out a lot easier.
You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Indeed, I really don't. Tell me something about
Sir
yourself.
Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself? Drop the Sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Now, let's go on a patrol.
Should we ride out? Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way? North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed. I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there. And from there? From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go. Sure. Chief.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, all soft and deep in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide.
Pushing my horses faster.
Glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye, it reminds me of that day. That day where the two of us
That's a pretty cool shield.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't used kids or arrows since the day Jakey joined me. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletch is moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of Beyond everywhere we go. It always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight. To the victor the spoils. That's how it's always been. But no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Oh, there's smoke over there.
Chief, I think there's something going on over there.
Let's go! Behind me, and keep your eyes peeled. What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched the purse yet.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy
Yeah.
to pay you for your hard-earned groschen back, Captain.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action from close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book and shut the fuck up?
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues. Question the survivors. If there are
They turned the place over good and proper.
Mm-hmm, they did.
They weren't even armed. Jesus Christ, what a massacre. No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals. Ah, poor wretch.
They even killed the dog. What the? Unacceptable. And there's a note. With a shield. Okay.
Kuno will want to know about this. I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that, Chris. It's the House of Zul. Dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about
What do you know
Zuls?
about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
Okay. This town seems to be a little religious. Oh, there's a DLC quest here? What's this? Interesting. Since we're so close to Princess Lavitz, we might as well head up there. Alright, so let's find the locator. Could be somewhere around here. I think I see him.
Yeah.
Gee, those were just flags. Is that him there?
So, it's all clear to me now.
Boys, who are you? You've no business here.
I'm Henry, and I was expecting to find you here.
What? How could you?
Sir Divish's locator went missing around these parts.
Well, it seems like he's all out of luck, don't it? Divish ought to send someone better than you to parley.
He didn't send me to parley, he sent me to deal with it.
Deal with it? There's plenty of us, and you're on your own. So I'd think twice about how you're gonna deal with that.
Interesting. Let him go.
Let him go, right now. Or you can stay here and feed the crows, like the rabble who were here before you.
Alright. No need to be hasty, eh? Well, we'll be on our way then. Quietly. That fella's in the tent over there.
Well, that was easy. Oh, there he is. Untie him, and I guess we gotta talk to him.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you, and it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of Skalitz.
My name is Marius Belek, Master Locator. Sir Divish sent me here to survey the area.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just yet. Those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived, and so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Come along with me if you like. We'll report to Sir Divish afterwards.
Okay.
I'll
Let's
escort
do
you
that.
then. At least I can make sure you don't get caught again.
What? Are there more of those bandits around?
No, I just meant... Never mind. Should we get going?
Alright, I guess we're gonna join to serve.
This is a good spot for the rat house. Every village must have one. It'll be nice and prominent. It's on the hillside, so the foundations will stay dry. It can have its own little square, close to the church. There's no better site here.
Oh my goodness. I guess we'll take this. Oh my goodness, the guy has fast legs. Where did he go?
There's quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water here is clean and can be used to supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source.
Mm-hmm.
Supplies and trade will flow through here. I can't even see past the trees and ruins whether there's room for anything there. But at least the trees are strong and healthy. All we need is a few good woodcutters, and we won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere.
Woodcutters. I think I know a couple.
Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream. Lots of space here. There's a well here already. All the better.
I didn't even notice this.
That's that then. Most essential surveying is done.
Okay, that's done. How's the survey going?
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it. Which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire waged labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
That's good news. When will you inform Sir Divish?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem.
Indeed.
I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir.
I drove him off.
They didn't look all that tough, so I put a bit of pressure on them and they took to their heels.
You were outnumbered and you scared them off?
They were greenhorns. I think they may have been a bit intimidated by me.
Let's hope they don't try anything like that again.
I'm quite sure they won't, sir.
Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid! Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
Leo, the village.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
Water and wood.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square. In particular, more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forests for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
Won't it cost a lot?
Rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
That much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price, but raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business.
Indeed.
Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius.
Who'll be living and working here?
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzig and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
About the rebuilding.
It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great
Bailiff?
honor. Thank you.
You will
Indeed a great
oversee
honor.
the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office.
Oh boy.
Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True. But from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such
That's
gossip.
hilarious.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed.
Yeah, phew,
You'll
indeed.
give this document to the Rattay bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir.
Well, looks like we got our work cut out here for us. Alright, folks, this is a very good spot to call it. So if you like the content, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And hey, maybe you got a few suggestions or you just want to say something, leave it in the comments. I'd read them all, and all your support is much appreciated. Okay, folks, have a good day, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.